Good evening. I'm Alice Gaynor.
And I'm Dick Brennan. Welcome to the news at 9. 4 years after the lane closures near the George Washington Bridge, an emotional sentencing day in a New Jersey courtroom. 2
former aides to Governor Christie were sentenced to prison for their roles in the so-called Bridgegate scandal. Bill Baroni will serve 2 years plus a year of probation. Bridgegate Kelly got 18 months along with a year of probation.
TV 10 55's Jessica Layton is live in Fort Lee with more. Jessica.
Dick and Alice, you know, there's a lot of people who have said all along that this was a case of really ugly politics. And today, the judge agreed, saying the Bridgegate scandal left the people of Fort Lee trapped by a vendetta. Sentencing day in a scandal that snarled traffic in dangerous ways on the George Washington Bridge, long awaited by drivers in Fort Lee, and the 2 former Christie aides convicted in the case. But Bridgegate Kelly insists the road to justice isn't over.
Today has been obviously a very difficult day for me and for my children, but I want to assure my kids and everyone else that this fight is far from over. I will not allow myself to be the scapegoat in this case.
The mother of 4 will spend a year and a half in prison for her role in the so-called Bridgegate case, which closed lanes and forced Fort Lee into gridlock for 4 days in September 2013. Apparent retribution against the city mayor after he failed to endorse New Jersey Governor Chris Christie in his re-election. During the trial in federal court last fall, the jury saw an email written by Kelly. Time for some traffic problems in Fort Lee. And as the mayor made desperate pleas for help during the traffic nightmare, a text she wrote saying, "Is it wrong that I'm smiling?"
I was hoping that we could get a lesser sentence, but I respect the court. As a defense attorney, obviously, I was looking for probation.
Probation alone wasn't in the cards for Kelly's co-defendant and former colleague Bill Baroni either. The former executive director of the Port Authority learned he'll spend 2 years in prison. His attorney spoke on his behalf.
What he did was a mistake in not returning calls or emails to Mayor Sokolich. He apologized to him, the citizens of Fort Lee, and everyone else he let down in this episode in his life.
I think the message is clear. I think that, as Judge Wigginton said, this was a case about an abuse of power. I think that the system worked exactly the way the system was supposed to work.
What do you think? Disgusted drivers we spoke with in Fort Lee agree.
I mean, if they make a mess, I think it's fair. Because, like, it affects all of us.
I believe that people should have consequences to their actions.
In this bill?
Absolutely. No matter whether it's me or somebody else, they should have consequences to their actions.
I mean, it's not fair for the kids, but if she did it, then she's supposed to pay for it.
We did go to the house of Bridgegate Kelly after the sentencing today. She was there and said she didn't have any more to say. We do know she's planning to appeal, as is Bill Baroni, and neither will have to report to prison until that process plays out. Reporting live in Fort Lee, New Jersey tonight, Jessica Layton, TV 10 55.
All right, Jessica, thanks very much.